What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's night 2 of the Showcase of the Immortals, as fans wonder whether John Cena can capture his 17th world title. Join us now as we recap night 2 and look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Oh, and we also have news on Stone Cold Steve Austin crashing his ATV at WrestleMania. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's start off with the recap, as the first match is the triple threat for the Women's World Championship match, as champion Io Sky takes on Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Now this match is about more than Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair wanting to regain a Women's World Championship. It's about Ripley and Belair blaming each other for costing them a world title. Consequently, it's very personal, and for Belair, she lets her emotions get the best of her, taking her eye off the prize. Still, it's a free-for-all that only ends when Io Sky hits a moonsault on Belair, covering her for the win and retaining the Women's World Championship. Next is a Sin City Street Fight as Damian Priest takes on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre jumps Damian before the match, but Priest quickly rebounds, leading to a slobber knocker from start to finish. Drew even takes out time to post his annual WrestleMania selfie saying "bored at work," which is such a great heel move. Both men show an insane ability to withstand punishment, however Priest errs when he tries old school with McIntyre, knocking him off the top rope and through 2 tables. Drew ends Priest when he delivers a Claymore kick, driving Priest's head into a steel chair lodged into the corner of the ring, as Drew McIntyre pins Damian Priest for the win. Next up is a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship, as champion Bron Breakker takes on Penta, Finn Balor, and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Bron Breakker doesn't have the champion's advantage, as anyone can lose and Bron Breakker will no longer be champion. Nevertheless, Bron is dominant until Finn Balor powers up, hitting a sling blade and a coup de grace for the certain win. But unfortunately, an opportunistic Dominic Mysterio lands a frog splash, covering Balor for the 1-2-3 and the title, as Dirty Dominic Mysterio becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. He now joins the third father and son duo to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship, the others being Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and Curtis Axel, and Jey Uso and Rikishi. Next up is Randy Orton's mystery opponent, and who will he face? None other than TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. Now Hendry puts in a valiant effort and even blocking an RKO from the Viper, however his momentum is short-lived as Randy lands an RKO, scoring the pinfall victory. After the bout, Randy Orton raises Joe Hendry's arm and lets him bask in the fans' cheers before he hits another RKO out of nowhere. Next up is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. AJ Styles takes Paul to school for the first half of the match, but the Maverick is a fast study and he turns the tables on Styles. However, one of Logan's flunkies shows up with brass knuckles, only to be stopped by Karrion Kross. Kross sets the knuckle dusters on the mat and encourages AJ to use them. However, AJ refuses and instead floors Kross. But the distraction costs him though, as a Phenomenal One eats the brass knuckles from Paul when he tries the Phenomenal Forearm, with Paul hitting the Pulverizer to get the Duke, as Logan Paul defeats AJ Styles. Next up is a Women's Tag Team Championship match, as the champions the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez take on Lyra Valkyria, and not Bayley, but a returning Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch returns, showing she's better than ever. Although the champions isolate Lyra, the Women's Intercontinental Champion makes a gut check and gets the hot tag. Becky seals the deal when she hits the manhandle slam on Morgan, getting the win for herself and Lyra Valkyria as they become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And finally, it's time for main event of Night 2, the undisputed WWE Championship match between champion Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Cena is determined to win his 17th World Championship, but Cody Rhodes is more determined to stop Cena's dream, especially in light of how Cena turned heel and betrayed his fans by aligning with The Rock. However, a ref bump keeps Cody from getting the 3 count when he has Cena down, and rapper Travis Scott shows up to provide backup for Cena. The match turns into a battle of wills as Cody stops Cena from using the championship belt on him, but Cody refuses to use it on Cena. Cena capitalizes with a low blow and a belt shot as Rhodes goes down, with Cena pinning him for his 17th championship win. John Cena is the new undisputed WWE Champion as we close out WrestleMania Night 2. But that was a quick recap of the show. What about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly? As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a Dynamite Opener. WWE wasted no time getting the fans in the Allegiant Stadium out of their seats as Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair put on a masterclass. As expected, all 3 women look fantastic in the ring, with Rhea Ripley showing she's expanded some of her power-based moves into mat wrestling. While the storyline of the Women's World Champion being an afterthought going into the match was bad booking, it didn't matter once the bell rang as Sky looked better than ever. This was anyone's match for the taking, and all three superstars did a great job maintaining the proper pace for a triple threat match, keeping fans guessing about who would win. Incredibly, Io is the first Japanese-born wrestler to win at WrestleMania since Yoshitatsu won a pre-show battle royal at WrestleMania 26. Io has a work cut out for her due to the abundance of main event stars in the women's division, but hopefully WWE will tap into her popularity and give her a proper title reign. Number 2, Drew McIntyre is a beast. A rumor has it that Drew McIntyre has been prepared for another world title program, although he may have to jump to Raw following John Cena's title win tonight, which likely explains why Drew got a dominant win over Damian Priest. Although Damian didn't look like a punching bag, McIntyre had the edge for most of the match, looking more brutal than ever. He also showed there's no end to his social media talent as he took a selfie during the match. But judging from tonight's outcome, the Damian vs Drew series was now finally done and both superstars will move on to new opponents. Number 3, Dirty Dom wins the IC title. Dominic Mysterio pulled off an upset tonight by winning the Intercontinental Championship. Fans who wrote off Mysterio as having no chance of emerging with the title forget what an opportunistic weasel he really is, and he proved his naysayers wrong. Mysterio's win was the right step because he still has nuclear heel heat. It also gives Finn Balor another reason to leave the Judgment Day, and it also frees up Bron Breakker to jump into the world title picture, which should make things even more interesting now that Jey Uso's world champion and Seth Rollins is a full-blown heel. It's just great to see Dominic Mysterio finally join his father, who also won the Intercontinental Championship, that being Eddie Guerrero. Number 4, Say His Name. Randy Orton called out the WWE locker room, but it was TNA World Champion Joe Hendry who answered his open challenge, shocking the WWE Universe and giving fans who don't watch TNA Wrestling or NXT a chance to see Hendry in action. Now, the short match was also a good way to give Randy Orton his 20th WrestleMania match without Orton having to face any incoming wrestlers such as the rumored Aleister Black or Rusev, which undoubtedly would have led them to losing to Orton, not the best way to make your return to the company. Now, according to Corey Hayes from PW Nexus, WWE were considering having Jeff Hardy face off against Randy Orton as a mystery opponent, and for whatever reason, WWE decided to go with Joe Hendry instead. Hardy's music hitting the Allegiant Stadium would have actually blown off the roof. It really would have been great, but hey ho. Number 5, Becky's back. Becky Lynch's return couldn't have come at a better time as she showed up to replace Lyra's original tag team partner Bayley, who'd been taken out with a kayfabe injury. Rumor has it that WWE's wanted to bring Becky back for some time, but given her status as a megastar, Lynch returned to get revenge on Liv Morgan after Morgan claimed she retired Lynch last year, when in fact, Becky took a sabbatical. While Bayley fans weren't thrilled at Bayley being pulled from the match, WWE obviously felt pairing Becky with Lyra Valkyria, whose career was inspired by Becky, would create a huge WrestleMania moment. It also gave Lyra the rub and made Lyra into a double champion. If that's not a push, we don't know what is. And John Cena wins number 17. Now, we will unload on this match in just a moment, but we will say that John Cena breaking Ric Flair's record of 17 world champions is a WrestleMania moment. John Cena has finally done it after so many years, and he's done it in his final year wrestling in WWE. That, unfortunately, was the only good moment of the match. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, commercials even worse than night 1. Tonight's proliferation of commercials was even worse than night 1, with WWE showing no shame in what it's willing to shill if the price is right. Night 2's Intercontinental Championship match was sponsored by Dude Wipes, which in itself was bad enough, but Pat McAfee turned it into a running joke throughout the match, reminding fans just how greedy the company is right now. Just don't even call it WrestleMania next year, just call it Sponsormania 42. And did they bury the TNA World Champion? WWE did get a lot out of its impromptu match between Randy Orton and TNA World Champion, and while it was fun to see Joe work at WrestleMania, it's clear that WWE used the match to remind fans that TNA's top star is no match for a WWE superstar. The match only lasted 4 minutes, and this is no surprise as WWE's recent acquisition of AAA continued WWE's policy of treating other promotions as glorified developmental territories, whether it's TNA talents battling NXT rather than main roster superstars, or AAA wrestlers being booked against NXT at the upcoming Worlds Collide show. We get it, Randy had to go over. He had to look strong in this, but couldn't they have given it more than 4 minutes? But that was the good, the bad, and now the downright ugly, as the main event finish was awful. And now it's time for quite a rare event, WrestleMania earning a spot in the downright ugly. Now make no mistake about it, this year's WrestleMania was problematic ever since Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, and it continued with John Cena's heel turn. And in a flat night 1, and fans had every reason to criticize WWE for dropping the ball with its biggest show of the year. A situation which is ironic in light of Triple H complaining that online fans aren't real representatives of the WWE Universe and that critics need to sit back and just enjoy the show. But as bad as this is, it pales to what may be one of the worst booked main events in WrestleMania history. We did say one of, not the worst. Now, John Cena did turn heel and join forces with The Rock. The storyline itself had potential as fans wondered how the final boss would make life miserable for Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania, and how Cena's heel turn would be explained as far as him aligning with The Rock. Unfortunately, we got no Rock. He's been missing in action ever since Cena's heel turn Elimination Chamber, leading to fans wondering why he was even involved in the first place. And we won't even bother to examine The Rock's incredibly convoluted face turn at Raw's Netflix premiere and subsequent heel turn Elimination Chamber. That was just The Rock being The Rock. Now, of all the shows that have happened, WrestleMania Night 2 should have been the night that The Rock returned to WWE. He should have had some involvement in this. It's equally baffling why WWE thought rapper Travis Scott could take The Rock's place in terms of heat. Now, we get that John Cena stayed true to his word, saying that he was going to ruin wrestling for everyone, as he certainly did. The match felt awkward, it didn't feel like a main event at all. Everything just felt underwhelming. But was it really worth sacrificing the main event of Night 2 just to show that Cena stayed true to his word? I mean, the post where The Rock said that he was not going to be involved in Mania was bullshit, certainly aged terribly, as he didn't have any involvement whatsoever. As the report was right, he didn't have any involvement in Mania, and rumor has it he was never planned for Mania. Never. They just booked that huge angle at Elimination Chamber, and then he just bounced. This entire situation is just a clear reminder of the many missteps WWE Creative has made, and now it's time to reassess its storylines. What did you guys think of Mania Night 2? What did you guys think of the main event? Let us know in the comments down below. And we move on to our news story, as did Stone Cold Steve Austin crash and injure a fan? As Stone Cold Steve Austin made his grand appearance at WrestleMania 41, Austin drove out in an all-terrain vehicle only to inadvertently slam into a security barrier and supposedly injure a fan. CBS Sports reported, while cruising around the ring and doing multiple laps, Austin inadvertently drove into the front row barricade as he was about to slow down and nearly hit a woman standing at ringside. Austin's entrance came to an abrupt stop as he hit the wall with a video board in front of it. The WWE Hall of Famer could be seen quickly checking on the fans seated directly in front of him before entering the ring. Later, WWE President Nick Khan walked over to check on the woman at ringside. Now, whilst Austin didn't directly hit her, she fell over and needed attention. We're just wondering how WWE is going to placate her. But there you have it, folks. Our recap and review of Night 2 of WrestleMania 41. Let us know what you thought of the show in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.